here at Pasadena Community College at the Latino Recognition Ceremony, and this is our keynote speaker, Miss Reina.
Grande. Hi, nice to be here.
And it's nice to meet you. And you're the writer and author of. Can I show your book?
Yeah, sure. I have written 2 novels, and this is my latest book. It's a memoir called The Distance Between Us, and it's about my journey from Mexico to the United States.
And what does this ceremony mean to you?
Well, to me, it's always important to recognize the achievements of our young Latino students. So this is really important because sometimes I think we tend to focus on what they do wrong, and it's important to also recognize everything that they do right. So to me, this ceremony that we're doing today in their honor is really to tell them how proud we are of their accomplishments, to encourage them to continue to do what they're doing, to keep working hard, do well in school. And we just want to make sure that they know, that we're recognizing everything that they do, all their hard work, so that they can keep doing more of it.
Welcome to Pasadena City College. Bienvenidos. My name is Juan Pablo Carrion. I'm a staff member here on campus. I work in many different departments here on campus at the time. I'm also the president of the Association of Latino Employees. In 2007, many of the members you see here today came together to coordinate and facilitate this annual celebration to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of our graduating PUSD high school seniors. So please join me in giving them a round of applause. And like I mentioned before, we promise the next year we'll have a bigger venue for you.
One of the things that I get asked a lot is why did I become a writer? And I can trace back my choice of profession to 5th grade. And this was back in 1985. I had been in the US for about 5 months when I started 5th grade in Highland Park. And the school that I went to in Highland Park didn't have services for the recent immigrant arrivals. They didn't really have ESL, they didn't have bilingual education. So I was very scared on my first day of school because I didn't speak a word of English. But, so coming here to the US, I wasn't just dealing with being, learning the language and getting used to being in a new country and a new culture, but I was also dealing with a lot of stuff at home because I had been separated from my parents for so many years that you cannot just pick up the next day and put the family back together after it has been split up for so long. So I was dealing with a lot of things when I started my elementary school in 5th grade, but halfway through my school year in 5th grade, the school had a writing competition, and all the students were asked to write a story. And I had to write my story in Spanish because I didn't know enough English yet to write it in that language. So I wrote my story in Spanish, and the story that I wrote was about my birth. And I wrote about being born in Mexico in a little shack made of sticks and cardboard. And when I was born, my mother asked the midwife to bury my umbilical cord in the dirt floor so that no matter where life took me, I would never forget where I came from. And that was the story that I wrote. And I wrote how even though life had taken me very far from my country, I would never forget where I had come from. So on Friday, my teacher collected all of our stories because she had to read them and choose the best ones for the competition. And as she went through our stories, I remember I was really excited when she got to mine. And she opened it up and she saw that it was in Spanish, so she just closed it up and put it in the reject pile. And that rejection, from my 5th grade teacher, it really hurt me a lot because to me, she wasn't just rejecting my little story, she was rejecting me, who I was. And that rejection made me feel so ashamed of being an immigrant, of being undocumented. It made me feel ashamed of my native tongue. It made me feel ashamed of my humble beginnings and of my past. And I thought to myself that I would never write again because I didn't want to be rejected like that again. But luckily, I found my way back to my writing, and I decided that I could never let anybody keep me from writing my story. And I should never let anyone silence my voice. So my teacher rejected my little 5-page story, and I could have given up that day, but instead I went on to write a 400-page book about my life. Now, you guys are gonna go off into the world, and I know that you're gonna meet some people like that if you haven't already. You know, there are a lot of people out there who are gonna look at you and they're gonna reject you in 30 seconds because they don't wanna take the time to understand you. They don't wanna take the time to see what a beautiful human being you are. So they'll just look at you and reject you and dismiss you. But don't let them. Don't let anybody silence you and keep you from writing your story. And I don't mean for you to go home and write a 400-page book. Writing your story is living the life that you want to live. Writing your story is pursuing your dreams, going to college, making the right choices for yourself, but for your family and for your community. That's writing your story. And only you can write your story. Nobody else is going to write it for you. So only you can decide what kind of story your life is going to be. So is it going to be a tragedy? Is it going to be a romance? An action thriller? A fairy tale? Is it going to have a happy ending? That's up to you. So you guys are going to be starting a new chapter in your life. I know a lot of you guys are going off to college now, and some of you still have a little more work to do before you can go. But I want you guys to keep something in mind, that you don't need to be the best in your class, and you don't need to be the best in your school, and you don't need to be the best in your family. You just need to be the best you that you can be. So, as you guys go off into the world with your little pen and you start writing your story, I want to wish you guys all the best, and I want you to go out there and write your masterpiece. Thank you.
I'm now sitting with Ms. Renata Cooper, third-term president of PUSD, correct?
Yes, of the board, yes.
Of the board, my apologies. And we're at the Latino Heritage Recognition Ceremony. Can you tell us a little bit about your involvement with the organization today?
Well, I try to support all of our graduates, all of our students, all of our graduates, and I love these cultural recognition ceremonies of our graduates. One of the things I love at the high school graduations is when the kids have their different sashes on, from La Puente, from this ceremony, from the African American graduate ceremony. I think it's really, really great. And I think that the cultural connectiveness for participating in programs like this will do these students well as they go on in life. So I think it's a good thing.
Good afternoon.
Can you tell us why you have a scholarship named after you?
Well, because many years ago, close to 30 years ago, we started an organization called COPA. And the purpose of it was to give scholarships to young women graduating from the Pasadena Unified School District. And so we decided to send applications out and an interview. And that's how it all started. Since I was almost from the very, very beginning, I was a president then. And with all the work that I have done here in the city, working with different Latino organizations, they have named a scholarship after my name, after me.
now sitting with Police Chief Sanchez, who just spoke a couple words. Can you tell us a little bit about the event?
Well, first, Brandon, thanks for covering the event. It's a great opportunity for your viewers really to see a slice of a different part of Pasadena. And so here we are at PCC, as the viewers well know, celebrating the accomplishments and the academic achievements of many of the Latino students who attend Pasadena Unified School District. It really was a pleasure to talk to the young people and to see the enthusiasm and the recognition and the pride that the parents carried for all their hard work investing in their children. And now it's culminating on that special day, soon to be followed by graduation and then a trip to college.
You are the artist of this gorgeous piece behind us.
Yes, this is my painting. I brought it here to share with the students at this important day where we recognize the students from the high schools, and they got scholarships. And of course, I encourage art.
I think it does several things. I think it allows an opportunity for the students to just kind of shine with their community members. It allows families that are bilingual a chance to go to something where it's open to both and everybody's welcome. I think it also offers the opportunity for people from different countries, different Latino countries, USA, all over the place to come together and share this celebration of the success of the students.